Sam Ashworth-Hayes, a columnist for the British daily newspaper The Telegraph, has urged young people in the United Kingdom to leave the country while there is still time. In his author's column, he said that the UK is no longer capable of solving its own problems, and the economic situation on the island will only get worse. According to Ashworth-Hayes, the UK is now not so much stagnating as petrifying. The country's economic growth has been so sluggish over the past 15 years that real wages for the majority of the population are still below their 2008 peak. So there is already a whole generation of 30-year-old Britons whose entire working careers have been spent without significant increases in income. As a result, the countries that the British government has long tried to look up to have fallen far behind. GDP per capita in the United Kingdom is now closer to the former Soviet republics than to the Old World. The publication notes, Ashworth-Hayes emphasized that many young British doctors have long since left the island to settle in Australia or Dubai and have higher salaries for a few hours of work. This trend is now being seen across the board as the toxic combination of economic stagnation and the rapid growth of other countries has really started to catch the attention of young people in the UK. A separate problem has been the housing market, which has gone from dysfunction to disaster. A record number of British adults continue to live with their parents due to high rents and unaffordable prices for their own properties. Those who do dare to rent their own homes spend more than 20% of their income on rent, double what it was in the days of baby boomers born between 1943 and 1963. This in turn has caused record low birth rates in the kingdom. Young Britons looking to start a family are increasingly finding that things that previous generations took for granted are now effectively out of their reach. At the same time, the tax burden in the UK are approaching a post-war high of 37.7% of GDP. The UK has always been regarded as an old nation, but now it is getting older. As a result, low birth rates and increasing life expectancy have turned the country's demographic pyramid upside down. For example, the proportion of Britons aged over 65 was just 15% in 2000, 19% in 2022, and will reach almost 30% by 2070. Caring for the elderly will undoubtedly place an even greater burden on the working-age population. If young Britons knew what was good for them, they would be on the first plane out of the country. The columnist concluded, emigration, after all, is a time-honoured path to prosperity for those stuck in stagnant countries, and the UK seems incapable of solving its own problems at the moment.